Techie to the rescue.
And me and the whole family today.
Apparently everybody's
yes,
here.
it's taken us all day to get this video going. And
We keep getting interrupted in a good way.
yeah, and last week we were off because it's just been
Holidays.
chaos. It's been chaos.
As you can see, chaos.
Yes. All right, so question of the day. You ready?
Yes.
The big tech guys versus the little tech guys.
Okay.
So when you're getting your the pros and cons, getting your tech looked at by like the big guys versus the little guys.
Okay. So the thing that you have to think about when it comes to the bigger ones, they tend to have a lot of parts in storage. So if you go to them, they're more likely to get things accomplished faster than the little guys who have to specially order parts because they don't have enough money to actually store parts.
Right.
Unless there are certain parts where they see that commonly happen over and over again, and maybe they'll pay for that, but that's inventory that they have to hold on to, and they don't get any money off of that until they've actually used the part and sent it back to the company for a reimbursement on the part. And then it also depends upon if that place is someone that's certified and actually receives any additional discount on parts or whatever rules that they have to follow.
Right.
So there's a lot involved when it comes to big tech guys versus
and
little tech guys.
And what about little tech guys like you happen to actually have stores kind of nearby that actually sell some parts, right?
That's
some parts.
Well, the thing is a lot of times with the big tech guys, they've been more and more finding themselves hiring people who are not technically savvy.
Yeah.
And instead, the whole point is for them to be customer service savvy so that they're able to end up... I'm completely distracted. So that they can... I'm really
Come
distracted.
Come play with TV. Come here. Come play. Go play with TV.
Just,
go do trains. Trains?
I completely lost my...
All right, you're talking about having parts locally.
Right. So they're hiring people who are just customer service minded and not necessarily technically minded. So their whole point is to go and to get you to fill out a form, and then they ship that to the what's known as the depot, where then the product is fixed by someone who's more technically savvy.
So basically, when you're dealing with the big guys, if you need something repaired, it's probably going to be shipped off somewhere else and then shipped back to you.
Right, and in that case, you might as well just go ahead. Yeah, exactly. This is a day. You might as well just call up the customer service line and have them send you a box in the mail.
Because it's so in that case, you're saying it's almost pointless to actually go into a store and
like what's the point anymore if no one's actually fixing anything?
Right.
The only advantages I would say is that, for example, if you had an iPad and you went to an Apple store, they don't fix a battery. They will actually go and get you a brand new iPad.
Yeah.
And instead of repairing, you would have to restore from your backup, and then you would have to put the. They would get you a brand new iPad.
Right. So that may or may not be something you want to do.
Right. Well, I mean, that's technically the only option that's available because a lot of things are not repairable.
Yeah.
And because it's not repairable, they essentially, all they want you to do is just bring the device in.
Right.
They give you a new device. You have to restore your data from a backup.
Right, which is kind of a pain.
But that's your only option.
Right. So that's about parts. Now what about tech support?
The big box doesn't provide tech support.
Okay.
Really?
But they used to, right?
They provide tech support, but they provide tech support for what they consider in scope.
Okay.
So
if somebody shows up with something that's not in their scope, then they're not going to help you.
Right. So if
but they used to, right? Because I feel like
they never used to. They never used to. Employees that worked at these big box stores broke rules.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to help the customer.
Okay.
They cared about the customer.
But now they don't even tend to have people technically savvy enough to help, right?
Right. If you're not even technically savvy in the first place.
You guys.
If you're not technically savvy in the first place to help and assist.
Yes.
If you're not technically savvy in the first place to go into help and assist, then you're not going to be able to help somebody with a password, or you're going to take longer, and a manager is more likely to come over, and then go and say why are you wasting your time? This is not in scope of what the service that we provide.
Right, but they've been hiring people who are less technically oriented the last few years, right?
Right, they've been
You
hiring
need
less.
to calm down. You're the big boy.
They're hiring
You know
less
how to have your
technically
trains. Go.
service oriented people,
Yeah.
and essentially even in interviews, they're going less for your technical background and more how can you handle a customer.
Yeah.
And like, can you make a customer smile because you're not using over technical stuff?
Right. So basically, to conclude it, is, you know, if somebody is going to work with a little guy like you,
Yeah.
they may be paying a little bit more, but you get what you pay for.
Well, they're going to be paying a lot more, honestly.
Right.
But the reason why they're going to be paying a lot more is because I have to do a lot more research.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of people that are going to sit there and figure it out. So, for example, the other day, help somebody out with their camera that wasn't working on their PC. But what we had to do is not only upgrade the software on their PC, but we also had to download special software for their camera to allow the camera to work better. So that's essentially what we had to do.
Right. So it's a little thinking outside the box.
A lot outside the box, if you think about it.
But it works. Like, in the end, that's kind of what gets you what you want.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. All right, I think we're going to end this video because this is chaos.
Yeah.
This whole day and this whole week have been chaos.
Chaos.
Very busy, like lots of clients, good stuff, but
right.
like we have been.
We even had a client that called in the middle of us trying to tape this.
We've been trying to tape this all day. We finally sat down and the phone rang. Like, oh man.
So we're going with it.
It's one of these kinds of days. So, all right. If somebody has a question for you, how can they reach you?
707-267-7778.
And your website is?
TechieToTheRescue.com.
That's right. And by the way, this guy does need a haircut. I'm acknowledging that because I know that's going to come up. That's on my list. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Well, fine.
No, I need to say that because somebody in the comments is like, you look
someone
like you need a
I know
haircut.
someone in the comments is going to say that.
Yes, baby.
They're also going to say you're managing a zoo.
I'm working. It feels like it today. And it's not like this every day. I don't know what is going on, but like today something is going on.
Something's in the air.
We need to pause this video.
Right. Bye, everybody.
All right, bye.